Hello, I'm Matt Parker with the elder law firm of Marshall, Parker & Weber. I'm here today to answer one of the most commonly asked questions of elder law attorneys. How do you protect your assets from nursing home costs? Well, many of my clients are concerned about the cost of nursing home care because it is so expensive. Right now in the state of Pennsylvania, the cost is $11,000 per month. That's $132,000 a year. The average person simply cannot afford to pay that cost of care. So, what are the sources for paying this cost of care? Well, first, if you could pay privately, that would be great. Pay with your own resources. But if you can't, the other two options are A, qualify for something called long-term care insurance. It's a type of private insurance. Not everybody's going to be eligible for that, nor can they afford it. Lastly, most people end up qualifying for what is called Medicaid. It's a program that pays for care in a skilled nursing facility. Now, not everybody is going to be eligible for the Medicaid program. It has financial criteria. Now, the criteria is different from a single person versus a married couple. For a single individual, they're going to be able to keep a very limited number of what they call the available resources. These are the countable assets that you can usually use to pay for the cost of your care. Think of the cash assets or investments that you have. For a single person, the range is between $2,400 and $8,000. For a married couple, normally what they do is they add up all these available resources and cut them in half. Half belongs to the spouse staying at home, half belongs to the person entering the nursing home. Now, there is a maximum that a person can keep. It varies from year to year. Right now, that's $130,000. Now, there are also unavailable resources that a person's not going to be required to spend down, such as your house, car, burial accounts, and personal property. Now, how do people preserve assets if they're worried about one day having to apply for this Medicaid program? Well, the first thing I'll encourage people to do is plan ahead. Try to reduce the amount of available resources well ahead of needing to apply for the Medicaid program. Medicaid has what's called a 5-year look-back period. They look back in time to see what you did with your money or property before applying for Medicaid. However, if you've given away, let's say, a house or monies well beyond the 5-year look-back period, those don't have to be disclosed when you go in and apply for the Medicaid program. Now, attorneys typically advise clients not to give money and property outright to children. There may be exceptions, but generally speaking, we advise clients to use something called an asset protection trust. This trust can own your home, monies, investments, and they're sufficiently protected from the cost of your care if you ever need to apply for the Medicaid program. Now, you need to be doing this 5 years ahead of time, but it's an effective way to shelter significant amounts of resources. Keep in mind, if you transfer your house to one of these trusts, you still get to live there. The assets are not transferred outright to your children until you pass away, so they don't get mixed up in their lives. They may have a variety of issues, such as married the wrong person, maybe they have some financial problems, and you don't want to give the assets outright. A trust is a great way to protect your home and savings during your lifetime. Now, if you haven't done any pre-planning, there's going to be crisis planning needed. You're going to come to see the elder law attorney at a time somebody's entering a nursing home. At that time, we can come up with a plan to try and shelter as many resources as possible. Sometimes it's as simple as spending down your resources on things you can keep, like a new car or maybe burial accounts. In other cases, you have too many resources. In that case, we may have to use something called a Medicaid annuity to help you shelter assets. If you're married, we can use this annuity to shelter a significant amount of money for the spouse staying at home. You can take all of the available assets that are making you ineligible for Medicaid and invest them in a single premium immediate annuity for the spouse in the community. He or she will receive a fixed sum of money over a term of years that will help them stay at home and live independently. Those resources are not available to pay for the person's care in the facility. Now, these are some of the basic ways in which someone can help preserve assets and qualify for the assistance program. There are many other planning options available to you. I encourage you to visit one of the attorneys at Marshall, Parker & Weber for more information.